Seeing the slight fear that rose in the old man's heart, Yu Yifeng remained calm and asked, "What's wrong?" Just after Xiao Yin and Shuiyu had left, even though Yu Yifeng had pressed the old man about some matters, the latter had refused to reveal anything. This made Yu Yifeng suspicious, but he did not confront him immediately. How could it be a soul entity? We didn't do anything heinous in our desolate village. How could it be here? The old man seemed in great pain, clutching his head with both hands as he cried out, "Shuiyu, calm him down," Yu Yifeng said directly, seeing that if things continued like this, the old man might not be able to bear the pressure and would collapse from the shock. "All right," Shuiyu replied, her gentle water waves surrounding the old man, slowly helping to stabilize his emotions. "Old man, what happened to you?" Xiao Yin stepped forward and asked cautiously. "It's them. It must be them. They've come back for revenge." Wrapped in Shuiyu's calming water waves, the old man's emotions steadied, but he began muttering in urgency. "Them?" Upon hearing this, everyone exchanged puzzled looks. "Quiet down." Shuiyu, also confused, increased the intensity of her water waves, instantly calming the old man. "Is it better now?" With the extra calming power from Shuiyu, the old man finally relaxed. After a moment, Xiao Yin spoke again. "Sigh, they're all dead." Looking at the village where thousands of villagers had perished at the hands of the mysterious figures, the old village chief's expression turned melancholic. "Old man, what happened?" After the old man settled down, Yu Yifeng asked, "Are you also heading for Ice and Fire Island?" The old man seemed to have noticed their intentions and said, "A little, but we are not aligned with those people," Yu Yifeng replied directly without denying it. "Ice and Fire Island," Xiao Yin noted the name in his heart. However, for some reason, every time he thought of it, the mysterious power of the clan mark on his forehead radiated a burning wave. Ice and Fire Island, Yama of the 10th King. They must be old enemies. But Ice and Fire Island is extremely dangerous. Why would these people want to go there? The danger of Ice and Fire Island is so great that even a 4-star Do Xian would not return once they enter. The Devourer of Souls murmured softly. "Since you're going to Ice and Fire Island, do you know what it is?" After a while, the old man, now no longer weak, turned to Yu Yifeng and asked. The group fell silent at his words, clearly having very little knowledge about Ice and Fire Island. Ice and Fire Island is a very special island located above our eastern continent. The old man began slowly, as if telling a story. Its location is highly mysterious. Probably only 3 people in the entire eastern continent know where it is. And it's said that Ice and Fire Island isn't located on land, but in a special void. The island is surrounded by blazing flames and bone-chilling ice. If you find the place and try to enter, the fire is the first test. Ice and Fire Island is a combination of an active volcano and an ancient ice cave. The island is roughly divided into 10 layers, each one holding some of the most notorious criminals. These criminals are responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands of lives. Thus, Ice and Fire Island is also known as the Hell of the Imprisoned Evildoers. The old man seemed to recall some unpleasant memories as he spoke. Ice and Fire Island? 10 layers of prisons? Xiao Yan's head darkened as he realized. Could this be their destination? But Ice and Fire Island is a prison. Were they perhaps going to rescue someone? Each layer of Ice and Fire Island has a guardian. Only after defeating the guardian can you reach the imprisoned criminals. It's also possible to acquire a great deal of treasures. But the island is protected by island guardians who have guarded it for generations, so very few people have been able to rescue any of the prisoners. As for the soul entities that attacked my village, though I don't know their exact forces, they seem to be very eager to free someone from Ice and Fire Island. The old man continued, "I can see you're strong, but if you intend to rely on this power alone to go to Ice and Fire Island, I advise you to reconsider. Otherwise, you'll be going to your doom." The old man warned gravely. "We know all of this," Yu Yifeng replied with a smile. "We're going to Ice and Fire Island on someone's behalf. Whether we succeed or not depends on luck." "Where is Ice and Fire Island located?" After a pause, Yu Yifeng asked again. "Where is Ice and Fire Island now?" Shuiyu inquired. I'm afraid that in about a month, its exit will temporarily appear, and the entrance where it manifests is likely in Sand Mist Village, not far from our desolate village, the old man said. Boss, this guy. Shueyu paused, unsure, and asked. He's right, Yu Yifeng said, his gaze slowly drifting toward the distance. Indeed, they had entered Ice and Fire Island by chance before. However, just dealing with the Guardian of the 10th layer had nearly led to their complete destruction, and it was there that they obtained the Earth Dragon Blood Crystal. After defeating the 10th layer Guardian and acquiring the Earth Dragon Blood Crystal along with some other treasures, they proceeded toward the 9th layer. But there, they suffered significant losses. If it weren't for Yu Yifeng's hidden skills, they would have all perished on the spot. They didn't know the exact appearance of the 9th layer's Guardian, but one thing was certain. It was a creature adept at using soul power for attacks. This was why they decided to auction the Earth Dragon Blood Crystal and seek an alchemist. All of this started with a commission. The Hawkeye Squad, which served the Yu family, was quite well known in the Eastern continent. For some unknown reason, they had attracted the attention of a powerful figure, leading to the delivery of a commission. This commission carried the energy fluctuations of a high-ranking being from the Ghost Realm. If they didn't handle it properly, not only would their squad be wiped out, but the power behind them would also be instantly erased. This was why they were so anxious. The task of this commission was to rescue someone imprisoned on Ice and Fire Island. Although they knew who they were supposed to rescue, they had very little information about Ice and Fire Island. They couldn't even be sure which layer the person was on, so they had to explore it layer by layer. This was the reason they sought out Xiao. According to their guess, the person was most likely on the 9th or 8th layer. Since that's the case, let's go, Yu Yifeng said slowly after a moment, his voice filled with a commanding authority. As soon as his words fell, brilliant and sharp Doqi erupted, instantly sweeping over all the mysterious figures present. His palm clenched, turning them to dust in an instant. The others saw this and showed no sympathy for the mysterious figures. After all, they had brought this upon themselves, so they slowly prepared to head toward the next village. Ice and Fire Island existed in a mysterious void, with its entrance appearing randomly in the eastern continent at intervals. If they didn't encounter it, they would have to wait longer, so they had to rush and arrive at the entrance ahead of time to wait. Let's go. Seeing the old man's face filled with sorrow, the group didn't linger. They immediately set off toward the next village. This time, they didn't summon a flying magical beast but chose to walk instead. Since Desolate Village had been destroyed, the next village would undoubtedly be in danger, so walking was the safer option. Hold on, everyone. Sand Mist Village has probably been slaughtered by evildoers. To enter Ice and Fire Island, you need a specific item, and I happen to know what it is. I can lead you to it. Just as Xiao and the others were about to leave, the old man spoke with sorrow. I know my own strength is weak, but I implore you to eliminate those villains to soothe the spirits of the people who died in our village. The old man continued, his voice filled with grief. Shueyu, Xiao, and Lu Qing, along with Xiao, you four go ahead to Sand Mist Village to gather information. The rest of us will go with the old man to retrieve that item. Without it, entering Ice and Fire Island will be extremely difficult. After a brief moment, Yu Yifeng made a decision. Yu Yifeng knew that certain items were required to enter Ice and Fire Island, and with time running out, they had no choice but to take this course of action. Then, let's split up here. If you encounter enemies that cannot be defeated, retreat. You all follow Xiao and take charge, Yu Yifeng instructed before smiling faintly at Xiao and following the old man with the others. With his 3-star Doxian strength, Yu Yifeng was able to sense hidden things. Xiao was definitely not as simple as he appeared. Since that's the case, let's go, Xiao said with a shrug, watching Yu Yifeng and the others leave. The mysterious figures that attacked Desolate Village were clearly forces similar to the Soul Hall from the Doqi continent, so Xiao was wary of the Ghost Realm. After all, even now, thinking about the forces of Soul Hall made him feel somewhat unsettled. However, Xiao had managed to catch a trace of soul power from the leader earlier. During the journey, he planned to interrogate him further. We'll head to Sand Mist Village first. Based on the distance, we should be able to reach the outskirts in 2 days. After that, We'll observe the situation. Second uncle, what are you thinking? We're being led by a young squirt straight to our deaths. Xiao complained, her expression filled with frustration. Typically, Xiao had the temperament of a spoiled princess. Given Xiao Yan's prior disrespect towards her, she was undoubtedly ready to throw a tantrum. However, after receiving 3 stern warnings from Yue Feng, she reluctantly suppressed her anger. If she angered Xiao Yan to the point of him leaving, Yue Feng might just let Xiao Yan face the consequences herself. Let's go. Xiao Yan, uninterested in engaging with her, chuckled and started leading the group onward. As Xiao Yan moved ahead, a man and 2 women slowly followed him. Guided by Xiao Yan's immense soul power, they easily avoided many soul beasts along the way, which softened Xiaoya's anger towards him a bit. We still have some distance to go. Let's see who exactly this guy is. Relying on his immense soul power, Xiao Yan scanned the surroundings and, finding no enemies within miles, decided to multitask and examine the sliver of soul power he had just captured. Be careful. If this guy is indeed from the Ghost King realm, he might harbor some secrets. The Ghost King realm is quite mysterious. Even the supreme beings among the 3 domains can't see through them. The voice of the Devourer of Souls echoed through Xiao Yan's thoughts. Okay, Xiao Yan replied, carefully releasing the sliver of the mysterious person's soul power into his Do Chi Si. He then mobilized his immense soul power to prepare to explore it. Take action. Xiao Yan continued to walk calmly, but within his body, his brilliant soul power entwined with the captured soul power, as waves of memories surged like a flood into Xiao Yan's mind. This guy seems to have intense soul power fluctuations. Lu Mei, beside him, blinked her beautiful eyes, clearly sensing something, though Xiao and Shuei noticed nothing unusual. Soul probing is definitely a risky technique. If Xiao Yan's soul power were weaker than that of the mysterious person, he could instantly be possessed. However, since Xiao Yan's soul power is stronger, he can glean much information from the sliver of soul power. How is this possible? Xiao Yan's gaze went blank as he finished probing the soul power. A bitter smile crossed his lips. What did you find? Although the Devourer of Souls inhabited Xiao Yan's body, it was unaware of the information Xiao Yan had gleaned from the mysterious person's soul power. Observing Xiao Yan's expression, it couldn't help but ask. This guy's strength is about that of an early 2-star Do Xian and holds a notable position within the Ghost King realm, yet he seems to have no contact with their higher-ups, Xiao Yan noted, with a trace of regret in his eyes. The Devourer of Souls nodded. The people of the Ghost King realm are very cautious, and they have a clear division of labor. Those at lower levels shouldn't know much, the Devourer of Souls replied, shaking its head. But during my probing, aside from the information that one of their strong figures is imprisoned on Ice and Fire Island, there seemed to be fragmented memories recounting something. What was it? The Devourer of Souls asked curiously. Light, demon. Life, the last light. Xiao Yan retraced the memories carefully, leaving nothing out. What? As Xiao Yan finished speaking, the Devourer of Souls' demeanor became exceptionally tense. Even within the storage ring, the soul-devouring talisman and blood river bell emanated vast ghostly energy, tightly enveloping the Devourer of Souls. Senior, what's happening? Xiao Yan, witnessing the Devourer of Souls in such a state for the first time, couldn't help but ask. Those aren't things you need to know. But moving forward, I'll help you quickly enhance your strength. When you possess the power to stand alone, whether it's me, the Golden Dragon King, or your own Xiao clan's secrets, I'll reveal everything, the Devourer of Souls replied, its voice filled with a hint of melancholy, earnestly advising Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's group slowly made their way towards Sand Mist Village, while Yue Feng led the rest of the squad directly to the place where medicinal materials for Ice and Fire Island were cultivated. Meanwhile, in Sand Mist Village, nestled by the seaside, is home to roughly 2,000 people. Its significant size is marked by a plethora of wooden structures and sandy paths. With the constant sea breeze and sporadic mists that obscure vision, the village earned its name. 3 shadowy figures were cloaked in dark black robes that completely concealed their bodies. A sinister, evil aura radiated from them, spreading in all directions. However, on the back of the robes, a large red character was visible. Sin. The large, red character was strikingly ominous, exuding a dark, malevolent force that sent a shiver down the spine. The black robes contrasted sharply with the red word, making it all the more terrifying. Village Chief, have you made your decision? The figure standing at the center spoke slowly, his voice tinged with a mocking tone, unsettling those around him. Humph! You vile force, don't even think about swallowing our village. We would rather die than accept your unreasonable demands. A burly man, wielding a large knife, stepped forward and shouted defiantly, his gaze full of fearless resolve. Enough talk. In the next moment, before the burly man could finish, the figure on the far right of the trio, as swift as a ghost, disappeared in a flash, emitting an evil, shadowy aura. The next thing the man knew, he was lying in a pool of his own blood. Boss, why waste time talking to them? If they resist, just kill them all. The figure on the right casually wiped out the burly man and impatiently spoke. Don't push us too far. The village chief's eyelids twitched violently, his eyes blazing with fury as he seemed ready to fight to the death with the three figures. Village Chief, there's no one in Sand Mist Village who fears death. If you give the word, we will fight them to the death. Several of the villagers exchanged looks and spoke up, filled with determination. Village Chief, you need to think carefully. Once you make this decision, it may not just affect you. The man in the middle spoke with a grin, showing no urgency. I agree. However, I can only help you deceive the Hawkeye Squad. As for whether you'll capture them, that's not our concern. The village chief said painfully, though he was still reluctant to face these powerful figures. His people's lives were at stake. You should have agreed sooner. It wouldn't have come to this. The man who had just killed the burly man chuckled slowly, his voice thick with malice. Once they arrive, I will lead them into the trap you've set. The village chief growled through gritted teeth. Then we'll leave you to it. The three figures said, and in the blink of an eye, they vanished. The air around them crackled with an ominous, insect-like energy. Village Chief, their aura is too evil. It must be connected to the extraterritorial evil clan. If we continue with this, one of the villagers growled, unable to hold back his fears. How could they, as part of the Great Thousand Worlds, be aligned with such evil forces? What else can we do? We've reported this to the higher-ups for days, but the superpowers in the Eastern continent remain silent. These people have likely infiltrated their ranks. And what can we do but agree to their demands? Fight them? Bet our entire village's lives on it? The village chief seemed to lose his temper, his voice low but filled with fury. Sigh. The men standing at the altar sighed deeply, knowing that while the village chief's actions were risky, he was doing it to protect the lives of his people. My lord, can we trust these people? The voice of one of the disappeared figures echoed from a hidden place outside Sand Mist Village. Does it matter? The ones from the Ghost King realm are pretending to be high-ranking officials from Eensol Heaven, hiring the Hawkeye Squad to rescue their people from Ice and Fire Island. We've learned that the Undying Leaf is in their hands, but we don't know who specifically holds it. However, for the sake of our king's arrival and revenge, we must prevent the sacred flame from being revived. After all, the sacred flame suppresses our king too much. After years of research, we have found a way to counter this sacred flame. With the Undying Leaf and its connection to Undying Fire, we can ensure the sacred flame does not appear in the next heavenly battle. When the heavenly battle arrives, without the sacred flame to restrain us, I will see how they resist our armies. The three figures broke into eerie, chilling laughter, their voices unnatural and full of malice. As the figures from the Sin faction laughed evilly, beneath the ground, numerous dark passageways stretched out. Soul Lord, the Sin faction has arrived. A voice echoed through one of the underground tunnels. They're here for what reason? The figure addressed as Soul Lord reacted in shock upon hearing this. As the Soul Lord of the Ghost King realm, he was naturally well aware of the immense power behind the force known as Sin. Sin was a mysterious human organization with unknown overall strength, but one thing was certain: they were no small threat. This group despised humanity and willingly served the extraterritorial evil clan, earning them a reputation as the loathed parasites of the Great Thousand Worlds. These guys always make trouble for us. Keep an eye on the Hawkeye Squad. If anything happens to them, report it immediately. The mysterious Soul Lord spoke slowly. The Hawkeye Squad is no weak force. We hired them to pave the way, allowing us to rescue that guy from Ice and Fire Island. With that, the underground passage returned to silence, as if the calm before the storm. We should be near Sandmist Village up ahead. In just 2 days, Xiao Yin and his 3 companions had arrived close to Sandmist Village. Listening to the sound of the waves crashing against the rocks, the 2 women were visibly pleased. Strange, why is there such a sinister aura in Sandmist Village? Could it be the extraterritorial evil clan? Despite being hundreds of meters away, Xiao Yin detected a faint, detestable energy with his powerful soul sense. Sacred Flame was the ultimate nemesis of the extraterritorial evil clan, which allowed Xiao Yin to detect this presence, even when others could not. This village is no ordinary place. Xiao Yan's guard went up as he sensed the aura of the extraterritorial evil clan through the power of his Sacred Flame. He knew that Sacred Flame had been the natural enemy of the extraterritorial evil clan since ancient times, and with 3 Sacred Flames in his possession, the clan would undoubtedly go to any lengths to destroy him if they knew. All things in nature have their counterbalances, so Xiao Yin suspected that the extraterritorial evil clan must also have some means to restrain the power of Sacred Flame. The Blood Demon clan he encountered previously had been entirely annihilated by Xiao Yin and Xian Heaven, but they only ranked among the weakest of the extraterritorial evil clan. Here in the Eastern continent, any extraterritorial evil clan members would surely be far more powerful, and that was why Xiao Yin remained cautious. "Are you all right, young friend?" The group was now only a few hundred meters from Sandmist Village when Xiao Yin suddenly froze in place. The other 3 stopped as well, and Shueyu was the first to address Xiao Yin. "I'm fine, but this village seems unusual, so stay alert," Xiao Yin replied nonchalantly at Shueyu's words. "This guy." Lu Qing couldn't help but cast Xiao Yin a sidelong glance as he finished speaking. Just as they approached the village, Lu Qing sensed some concealed aura within the village thanks to the treasure she carried, but Xiao Yin had managed to spot it with nothing but his sheer soul power. An impressive feat indeed. "Let's go. Sandmist Village has been an old friend of ours, the Hawkeye Squad. We'll head in and ask around first," Shueyu said confidently, striding forward. The rest followed closely behind. "Old Village Chief," Shueyu called out as soon as he entered the village. In response, a sudden silence fell over the area, as if there were no one in the village at all. "My friends, you've arrived?" Just as Shueyu's voice faded, a middle-aged man and an elderly man stepped out from the only finely crafted wooden house in the village. Xiao Yin, with his sharp soul senses, noticed something strange. The old village chief had furrowed his brows, seemingly deep in thought as he left the house, only to change his expression to a smile as he came out. This, coupled with the earlier discovery of the extraterritorial evil clan's aura, aroused Xiao Yan's suspicions. "Interesting. I'll see what tricks you're hiding up your sleeve," Xiao Yan thought to himself with a faint smile, following Shueyu in silence. "Shueyu, you've come? You're just in time. The entrance will open in a few days." The old village chief greeted them with a smile, quickening his pace toward Shueyu. "Perfect," Shueyu replied with a smile. "Old village chief, here are some daily supplies." Yu Xiaoya stepped forward, several storage rings flashing into view. "The people of Sandmist Village are grateful to the Hawkeye Squad. Come inside for some tea," the old village chief invited them, though a hint of hesitation flickered in his eyes. Sandmist Village, in its remote location, could not meet its needs with what it produced alone. Ever since they had formed ties with the Hawkeye Squad, the team would bring them much-needed supplies each time they passed through. "Old Village Chief, our captain has gone to retrieve the items needed for entering Ice and Fire Island. We are in a hurry, so let's head to the entrance first," Shueyu spoke candidly. "Very well, please follow me." The old village chief, hearing this, took the lead and started moving. "It's too quiet. There are only 2 people in this village? Something's off with these people. Be on your guard, Xiao said to the other 3 using his soul power. The old village chief led Xiao and the group of 4 slowly through seaside buildings until they arrived at a circular altar about 100 meters wide. The location of Ice and Fire Island will appear in the center of this altar. It has never been wrong, the old village chief said, pointing to a sunken hollow at the altar's center. Let's go in and take a look. Without hesitation, Xiao led the group, unaware that the old village chief's expression had turned notably strange. He did not follow them into the altar, but remained at its edge. To prevent the old village chief from noticing anything suspicious about himself, Xiao followed along. However, his immense soul power and Doqi were ready at any moment, prepared to strike if anything went awry. What is this thing? As Xiao approached the altar's center, he looked down at the hollow and saw a menacing black shadow. Just a glance made Xiao feel as if he was facing a formidable enemy. He couldn't help but shout, "Something's wrong. Retreat." Before Xiao's words could fully escape, the shadow surged out of the hollow. Thick, eerie black mist spread rapidly, enclosing the entire altar in an instant. As the strange black mist engulfed the area, everyone felt their Doqi weaken significantly. Old village chief, you? Xiao's face showed a mix of shock and disbelief as he realized what was happening. Our task is complete. The rest is none of our concern, the old village chief said before vanishing. At that moment, Sand Mist Village became truly empty. It seemed the villagers had already been secretly evacuated by the old village chief. Ss. Gurgle. Sinister black mists and sounds swirled through the altar. That bastard! Xiao cursed. But despite his anger, he kept his focus. He knew that among the 4 of them, only his strength had reached the early 2-star Docian level. If he fell, the others stood no chance. Ss. Embrace death! The giant shadow hissed from within the black mist, its voice dripping with malice. Ah! The other 3 let out strange cries as the shadow spoke. This is Sealed Origin Realm. Realizing that the shadow had no intention to kill but rather suppress their power, the group was shocked. Their strength had been reduced by an entire rank within the black mist's barrier. Xiao, once an early 2-star Docian, was now merely at the early 1-star Docian level. Yu Xiaoya and Lu Qing, originally 1-star Docian, found themselves suppressed to Do-D strength. Sure, not bad. However, Xiao remained unaffected by the sealing power, his Do-Chi and soul defenses proving effective. Pride flickered in his eyes. I am the Flame Emperor, ruler of all flames. Extraterritorial evil clan, you dare cross me? Unyielding battle intent surged within Xiao. Show yourself, enough with these tricks. Xiao stood atop the altar, the red Do-Xian energy enveloping him, and shouted. The altar, now fully enclosed by the sinister aura of the sealed origin realm, saw the suppressed power of Xiao's group while Xiao's strength shone unimpeded. Oh, escaping the sealed origin realm's grip? Interesting. The shadow gradually revealed itself. Before Xiao stood a mysterious figure draped in a black robe, with a striking red, Sin, character on the back. Sin? How can it be? Xiao's expression grew even grimmer. They had heard of this faction known as Sin, but had never encountered them. Their reputation, strength, and methods were far beyond what the Hawkeye Squad could handle. Sin? Xiao echoed. To think it's Sin, murmured the Devourer of Souls. Sin, the extraterritorial evil clan, granted them evil powers, allowing them to use their human identities to freely enter and exit the Great Thousand Worlds, carrying out dirty deeds for the extraterritorial evil clan, said the Devourer of Souls. And as far as I know, every time they appear, if it isn't related to the sacred flame, it is probably connected to the extraterritorial evil clan behind them, the Devourer of Souls continued. Undying Leaf? Upon hearing this, Xiao was immediately startled. It should be correct. These guys are after the Undying Leaf. Be careful, they never act alone. This guy's status within the Sin is the lowest, and should be referred to as a Sin Guard. Although his strength is at the peak of 1-star Docian, he might have accomplices, the devourer of souls advised. You must have some treasure on you? The Sin Guard's words were filled with an extremely evil aura as he addressed Xiao Yin. You must also have some secrets I want to know. Xiao Yin was not afraid of the Sin Guard. After all, not to mention his sacred flame, even with just the methods he currently mastered, he was confident he could handle this guy without using the sacred flame. Hand over the undying leaf, or die. The Sin Guard clearly had no intention of wasting words with Xiao Yin, his tone dripping with sarcasm. I don't have the undying leaf, but I can send you to hell. 7-layered Skybreaker Ruler. Xiao Yin took the lead, launching the attack without giving the Sin Guard a chance to react. 7 dazzling beams of ruler light, filled with devastating force, rushed towards the Sin Guard. Overestimating yourself, the Sin Guard sneered, casually waving his hand, causing Xiao Yan's seemingly powerful attack to be swallowed up in an instant by a surge of evil energy rising from the confinement source realm. Indeed, this is a bit troublesome, Xiao Yan smiled wryly. The 7-layered Skybreaker Ruler was powerful, but after advancing to Do Xian, every time he used it, he felt some strain. It seemed he would have to find a higher-level ruler technique, as the 7-layered Skybreaker Ruler alone was no longer enough to handle the upcoming enemies. Heaven's pinnacle finger, call upon heaven and earth. The next moment, Xiao Yin gathered his vast Do Xian power at the tip of his finger, ready to shoot it out towards the Sin Guard. Swish, swish. Faced with Xiao Yan's fierce strike, the Sin Guard was cautious, muttering ancient incantations under his breath. Then, from within the confinement source realm, countless black gases began to writhe, coalescing into a dark knight. The Dark Knight, clad in sturdy armor and wielding a massive sword, looked like a true guardian. Bang, bang, bang. Xiao Yin, with all his strength focused on his fingertip, shot forward with immense force. The Dark Knight raised its sword to block the attack, and the clash was immediate. Clang, clang, clang. The sounds of metal colliding rang out. Before long, Xiao Yin took 3 steps back, while the Dark Knight retreated 10 steps, its sword trembling slightly. This guy. Upon seeing this, the Sin Guard furrowed his brows, clearly unable to comprehend why Xiao Yin had not been restrained by the confinement source realm, and how a mere 1-star Do Xian could match his Dark Knight in strength. After all, his Dark Knight was strong enough to rival a late-stage 1-star Do Xian. Can Xiao Yin handle this? Yu Xiaoya couldn't help but mutter under her breath as she watched Xiao Yin directly face off with the Sin Guard. Although Xiao Yan's attack power is formidable, this is the guy's domain. If this continues, Xiao Yan's situation could become precarious. Shueyu sighed helplessly. The restraining power of the confinement source realm would likely not dissipate anytime soon, so they could only watch helplessly. Wait, Xiao Yan has a massive amount of energy rapidly gathering inside him. What is he planning? Was his previous attack just a feint? Just then, Lu Xuemei's bright eyes caught a strange feeling in the air. And in the moment the 3 of them spoke, the situation in midair underwent a dramatic change. Almost there, Xiao Yin said, a dangerously sinister smile tugging at his lips. His hand suddenly expanded a circle of powerful confinement force that rapidly spread out. Confinement force? The Sin Guard was taken aback, immediately trying to summon his Dark Knight for protection, only to be struck by Xiao Yan's attack. Soul-devouring blood monument. Suppress him. Xiao Yan pointed towards the Dark Knight once more. On the verdant stone monument, a powerful force of confinement radiated, laced with waves of devouring energy. If anyone were caught in its influence, even someone as powerful as the Sin Guard, with their late 1-star Do Xian strength, would likely be subdued in an instant. Whoosh whoosh. Evil power. The Sin Guard suddenly shook his head, sighing. A pitch-black, malevolent aura, as if crawling up from the depths of the abyss, began to seep out slowly. Heh, I've been waiting for you. As the verdant stone monument moved to suppress the Sin Guard, he channeled his sinister essence in a bid to resist. Yet a dangerous smirk appeared on Xiao Yan's lips. Sacred flame to purge evil. Burn. With a fierce shout, a small flicker of cyan-yellow flame burst from Xiao Yan's mouth, shooting toward the Sin Guard with immense speed. To Shueyu and the others, The flame seemed ordinary, but that was because Xiao Yin had expertly concealed its sacred flame aura with his soul energy to keep it undetected. How is this possible? Double sacred flame? Though the cyan yellow flame revealed no trace of its sacred flame energy under Xiao Yan's overwhelming soul power, the moment it touched the Sin Guard's sinister essence, it immediately engulfed it. As the evil essence dissipated, a rare look of intense focus crossed the Sin Guard's face.